This week's Extra Life on F5 Live is proudly powered by Loot Crate. Whether you're a gamer, anime fan, or pop culture aficionado, Loot Crate has got a crate for you. They curate a bundle of collectibles, apparel, figures, and more that you can't find anywhere else. Crates get delivered to your door. It's like getting an awesome birthday present from yourself every month. And to learn more about the crates that are available and discounts that are going on right now, you can go to f5live.tv/lootcrate. All right, so let's continue on this topic. In this case, we're going to talk about Oculus, which, of course, if you're talking about a metaverse, right, a virtual VR environment from Facebook, Oculus is going to be a big part of that. Kind of. As it turns out, they've decided to retire the Oculus brand, the brand that is, for most consumers, synonymous with virtual reality. Which is an interesting move, in my view. But I think I understand what they thought they were up to. I think what they see is, this is the core. This is the thing that makes the metaverse possible. This is the thing that Meta makes. And so the Oculus Quest is officially going to be called the Oculus Quest from Facebook is officially going to be called the Meta Quest, and the Oculus app is going to be renamed the Meta Quest app. Effective soon. So that's a surprise to me, because Oculus kind of, from a brand perspective, is kind of like iPad, almost, in that it kind of means VR. For a lot of people, not for us, but for a lot of people, they don't even know that the HTC Vive exists outside of our occasional talking about it.
Yeah, the other problem here is that isn't Oculus not been soiled with some of the negativity of the Facebook brand?
Kind of. And the little bit of soiling that has happened, that's the next part. The little bit of soiling that has happened was when Facebook required Oculus to require a Facebook account. So let's use new names. When Meta required the Oculus hardware to require a Facebook account to be able to install any apps on it, that was the only soiling. And people disliked it so much that there is an unofficial third-party firmware and operating system build online for the hardware that my brother has to get around the Facebook login. Everything else works, but it gets you around the Facebook login. And so Meta has announced that Facebook is out. Next year, that requirement's going to go away. They're working on removing it from the requirement list now. Apparently, they heard that everybody hated it.
Right. So, I don't know. I mean, they're calling attention. By renaming it Meta, they may be calling attention to its relationship to Facebook again.
Right.
So, I mean, on the other hand, they have been the dominant force in VR, although I think HTC has done a pretty good job. But
I agree.
As far as just, I'm sure in terms of sales and support. So, yeah. I mean, we will have to see whether this has a negative impact on the brand or sales, but it probably, I think, obviously they're also trying to grow. The most interesting thing that I saw here is that GTA San Andreas is coming out.
Yeah.
So
specifically designed for VR on the Quest hardware.
Is that the killer title we've been waiting for? I don't know.
I feel like it would be personally traumatizing to have a first-person perspective of carjacking and beating up hookers. That seems traumatizing to me.
I'm gonna admit complete ignorance here in that I have never played a GTA game.
Okay.
So they seem not to sound all like a school marm or whatever, but
there's a phrase you don't hear often.
I'm not sure what not to be like, wagging my finger at people for the games that they like to play or, whatever. I don't know. It didn't appeal. That kind of thing doesn't appeal to me
I'm totally with you.
personally. So I just remember years and years ago, one time, my biggest memory of GTA is years ago, when my wife and I were, had been dating a year or two. I remember maybe the first year we went to Christmas at my sister-in-law's house, and her son was like 13 at the time, and one of their guests was like, your son is playing Grand Theft Auto, right? And she was like, yeah, what's that? It's like, that's a game where you beat up prostitutes, right? Your 13-year-old is beating up prostitutes. And she was like, oh, I didn't know what that was about. Like, uh, so a good story of watch what you allow your kids to play. In other
For
words,
sure.
now that kid is to tell you how long ago that to tell you how long ago that is. Now that kid is 30
Yeah, it's
and
not a
and
particularly
has four
recent
children of
game.
his own. Um, so uh, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people love the GTA games. I don't
Yeah.
really know much about them,
I know
so I
lots
don't
of people.
know.
I know lots of people who have played and enjoy those games. To me, doing doing it in VR is going to be a different experience, though.
Yeah, so I have no idea, but what it does sound interesting to me is that they've taken a popular game and
Right.
put it into VR, which is
Right.
not something that has happened too much. I can't
Right.
really name any others.
That
Now,
has that where they've taken an entire existing game and ported it for VR versus like Half-Life Alyx or something like that, where they have taken the franchise and created a VR title around it, which is not quite the same as taking Half-Life 2 and putting you in a VR headset and sending you off into the world.
I mean, whoever can do whoever can do a VR, get permission to do Minecraft VR is going to be golden, because holy cow, is that addictive. Like, my son is super addicted to Minecraft, and all of his friends are super addicted to Minecraft, and this has been going on now for like what, 10 years. So, um you know something like that, which has just incredible replay value, if that could be put into VR, then they'll really have something. But hey, look, they've taken a title, an adultish title that people like to play, and they put it into VR. That must mean something for VR, although I don't know if it means a lot. Uh, I
Yeah.
do also know that GTA has been on version 5 for like what, 8 years, or some ridiculous amount of time
Yes.
now. Uh, so
And the
my
original
prediction is,
trilogy is getting a
yeah,
remake, is getting a remaster, and San Andreas is coming to VR. There is no 6 in the works. That is where I
well,
so somebody
by
in
the
the
time it
chat
comes
room
out,
somebody in the chat
yeah,
room said Minecraft VR is semi already a thing.
really, I have not. I would love to know where that is, how you do that. If I hope they're not talking about Minecraft Earth, which was the Minecraft AR for your phone that
Minecraft.net
has been
slash
discontinued.
ENUS slash VR. Explore Minecraft in VR. Get right inside the world of Minecraft with virtual reality.
Wow, okay, it must not be that popular then, because no, I've heard of it. Well,
Yeah,
let's
I'm.
not mention this in front of my son. He will never come out for air if he had a VR headset to do Minecraft.
Yeah, good.
We'll
Good
never
call.
see him again.
You can
We'll
you can
never
already
see him
play
again. It's
it.
bad enough
You
now.
you can already play it on Oculus. Uh,
Mhm.
obviously, Oculus uh, in quotes. Um, all right, I am getting all kinds of comments in here. Uh, uh, unfortunately, there's a dialogue over it, so I'm looking through. a half haze. Also, it sounds like GTA VR is going to be mostly for the role-playing aspect of the community. That's interesting. Some ordinary gamers actually slept in Minecraft for 6 months and continues to sleep in it now. Oh. Okay, there's lots of stuff happening in chat right now. GTA role playing is
great.
huge. We've got two different topics happening. One on
That's
YouTube. That's one
great.
On Twitch.
I'm gonna look into this, but I'm definitely not gonna tell my 9-year-old about it, because if I tell him about, if there is we don't have an Oculus or Meta headset anyway, but he would demand one or find some way to get one if I told him there was a way to do Minecraft in VR.
It's also available on the Windows mixed reality headsets. Anyway.
For the 5 people that have them. Yeah.
But that poor platform.
But
anyway.
By the time GTA 6 comes out, people won't be driving cars anymore anyway. It'll just be all self-driving cars. You'll have to steal a self-driving car.
Oh, that's pretty funny. That concept is wildly amusing to me. All right. Obviously, I have to pull up the chat over here now, since lots of stuff is happening, and I can't actually read it over there. So, if for those of you who are watching live, PLUGHITZlive.com/join us. Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can chat with us, give us feedback on the topics while we talk about them, like people on both YouTube and it looks like Twitch are doing. So one of them is Adam, my brother, who I mentioned earlier, who has the altered stuff for the Oculus. He's the one who's telling us about GTA, I think. Nope. Somebody on Twitch is doing that. It might be Alante. It might all be staff members. Anyway, who aren't in the studio tonight. Anyway, it's all very interesting. They are still like focusing on content, which is what John had mentioned, was that you needed content for this whole concept to work. There's also apparently a lot coming to Beat Saber, which Adam will appreciate. They said, quote, "We've got a lot of high profile artists coming in 2022 or something like that." And then they played a 12-second nothing trailer, which was the most disappointing part of the entire event. But that's a good thing. An amazing lineup of artists is what the quote was. So it's interesting. Lots of stuff outside of the direct metaverse still coming to the hardware, which for me was a fear, was that they would lose that. But everything could go over to HTC, and I think we'd all be okay. But obviously, we will be keeping an eye on all of this going forward. The meta rename, the metaverse, all of this stuff coming to what used to be called Oculus. We'll keep an eye on all of it, because obviously this is an evolving story that's just getting started now. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell, because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to PLUGHITZlive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.